Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Check out. Right, 622. 55's the line. It's been a long day for you. Right,
the first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big run there by Johnson. 61 yards that time on the ground.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll try the left side. Hubbard. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On second down, Johnson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Check out. 627.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Here we go. Set. 60 Pittsburgh. You draw Corker.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
General West.
Now Cook. And an alley to run. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs, that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert eluding the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the
2nd and 6. It's caught. Smith. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Room here to run. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator dialing that one up into great success?
Let's go now. AT Gator, Greystone, travel.
He's crashing. He's trying.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
11Z.
From the 29, Luck. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop. Protein spill.
Double up. He's coming, double up. Watch the safety creep. Jack. No.
Defense.
On first down, Herbert. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Rashawn Gary racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw on 3rd down, Herbert. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process.
Break.
56. Check 56. Hey, that's good.
61.
On first down, it's Cook. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Herbert toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
11. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55.
From the gun, here's Locke. And he'll find Hall. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. The first down carry here for Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Blue 40. Close. Mike 55.
Hey, echo.
I'm coming. On. I'm coming. Shit. Watch the shit.
Now on 2nd and 13. Luck. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Cook. Nine yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
General West.
From the gun, Herbert. Open here, Adam Thielen. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On 2nd down, Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. They'll run on first down. It's Hubbard. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the pass. Joker.
They give the Johnson going right. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Come on. Hey, Johnson.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Throwing on third down. Love. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Herbert. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hey, wahoo! Shoot!
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw. Herbert. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
First down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
We go! 50, plant! He's in! He's coming! We got double up! Check 37!
They run it again with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
You got three down.
On 2nd and 9, Luck. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Go ahead. Watch it slap. Watch it slap.
A shotgun snap for Love. Escaping, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Minnesota.
18 Gator.
56. Let's go.
6-6. Pull it high. Get it.
Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he rifles one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, exit.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
60 Pittsburgh.
Get ready. Get ready.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7.
From the gun, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check.
Hey, orbit.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike.
Out of the gun, Luck. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Go on, Mike. Check out. 5, 6, 5. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go. It's coming. 11. Check. 51 to Mike. 50.
Hey, Charlie.
Check back.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
12. Mike 55. Mike 55. Man, that's trash.
3rd and long. It's Luck. Flush to his right. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On 1st and 10, Herbert, and Diggs has it. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Bridgestone travel.
Kill. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Now.
2nd and 4. Rolling to his right. And this one complete to Smith. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run with Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They try again with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Vikings 20, Lions 10.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Locke. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
6-6,
Brings
pull
up
it
2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Luck now to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
Watching your guys. In your face. 55's my guy, 55. They're not ready for this.
Luck. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Luck. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
It's our field. It's our field.
Check. Mike.
Now it's Luck.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And he's going to go down again. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defensive